When students go to a research-intensive university like NC State, one of the big benefits is that this is a place where faculty, graduate students, and undergraduate students are involved in the creation of new knowledge. One of the things that makes a difference for students is if they can be part of that process. What's new is this Undergraduate Research Award, which I brought to the college a couple years ago, and we've had a great deal of support for. And those research projects are where students get paired with faculty to get really hands-on mentoring in research tasks and learn kind of almost on an apprenticeship model how to be a researcher.
So the project that Dan and I worked on together was the purpose was really twofold. The first thing to do was to get a sense of what's happening in the electronic sports or esports scene globally. Part two of the project was looking at League of Legends specifically. League of Legends is one of the hottest games in the esports industry right now. At any one time on Twitch TV, which is one of the big streamers for esports, there's about 80 to 90,000 people watching.
Before League of Legends, electronic sports was not really big in the Western audiences, especially not in America. But now you have millions of players, you have massive cash prizes being doled out for these tournaments. You have an organized ranking structure, you have seasons, you have tournaments, you have teams, and etc., all being formulated in a way which is very similar to the way conventional sports are being constructed.
I basically started with Dr. Ding in her class, English 425, and it was analysis of scientific writing. She sent out a call for proposal or just an offer to be funded for doing some research. We compiled a database using retracted articles because our study was misconduct in the engineering genre.
And then I trained him how to do the coding for the articles by writing down all the publication information, like the authors, year of publication, year of retraction, reasons for getting it retracted.
Misconduct is defined as like plagiarism, falsification of evidence or experiments, fabrication of experiments, or image manipulation or authorship issues.
The project that we're working on right now is something that started with my master's thesis, and it was to estimate the caliber of a bullet from the defect that you find on the skull. So we're taking that to another step further, where we know that the thickness of the skull will actually impact the size of that caliber.
Some things we look at are cranial thickness and velocity of the projectile, fracturing patterns, different things like that. Currently we're doing bone density scans over on Centennial, looking at how density relates to the size of the gunshot wound.
CHASS really was what made this possible. If we were the ones who did the work, they were the ones who funded the work and facilitated the work and really provided us with the tools we needed in order to get this done.
I now like the idea of working with undergraduate students because you will train, as a mentor, you train them to do serious research. And the good ones really stand up to the challenge, and they improve so much that they can have something that's really impressive in their resume.
So working with Dan as an undergraduate student was really illuminating because I learned the caliber of undergraduate students that, in the CHASS population. Dan brought a level of enthusiasm, passion, creativity, and the ability to ask and follow through on really interesting questions that frankly, as an undergraduate student, I was amazed to see.
It's been amazing. It's given me the opportunity, I guess, to have a hands-on experience before graduate school. It's allowed me to find out that this is actually what I'm really interested in. When I was a freshman, I had kind of a lot of flopping with what I was interested in. So having the opportunity to work hands-on with a mentor like Dr. Ross and work in a lab that does some of the things that I hope to do as my career has been an amazing opportunity.
This allowed me to kind of get into some cutting edge type research, something that hasn't been discussed before, something that hasn't been analyzed before, and that was what I really wanted to do. I wanted to challenge myself and taking on these extra responsibilities was both challenging and exciting and a really beneficial learning experience for me.
Students get to really start thinking of themselves as contributors to knowledge, right? That you aren't just here to study and go get a job. You're here to study and advance our understanding in whatever discipline you've chosen. And if you take that up and you live that, that really transforms your life, right? You really are somebody who is contributing to knowledge, and that puts a whole different spin on what you're doing in your undergraduate education. It also has the added benefit of preparing you for jobs and for professional life, because people love to hire and to work with somebody who can come up with a new solution to an old problem.